Dear students, we are going to learn about different sociological and cultural terms and their definitions. And why are these terminologies important to understand the culture and different societies, social structures, and their components? Because every discipline has specialized vocabulary. जब तक हम किसी भी डिसिप्लिन की स्पेशलाइज्ड वोकेबलरी से आगाह नहीं होंगे, हम उस डिसिप्लिन के अंदर रहते हुए एज अ स्कॉलर उसके हवाले से बात नहीं कर सकते। इसके हवाले से हमें मुश्किल दरपेश आती है। तो दैट वुड मेक द classificatory difference between how a common man understands or talks about the culture and how, as a sociologist, as a specialized scholar of culture, you are going to talk about the culture and society. So let's have a brief overview of what key terminologies or what key terms would be used during or throughout this course. So first, as we know that the name of this course is Pakistani Society and Culture. So we would definitely be talking about the culture, what culture is, what would be the cultural components, and what are different aspects of culture that we are going to talk about. And then we are going to talk about the society, what society is, how society is being defined in the contemporary world, especially by the sociologists. And then we will talk about the social structure. What does it mean to be the structure or the structural components of society, and why social structure is important to understand the society as a whole. And then we will definitely talk about the social institutions. Perhaps you have already studied about different social institutions that exist, but there is a difference between the way we use the term or we use the word institution in our colloquial sense, and the way we are going to use it we are going to use it as a sociological concept. So we will talk about different social institutions, and then we will talk about the rules and status, that how these how this amalgamation and how this interconnection between the role and status is contributive to produce different social structures. And then we will talk about the norms and values. And as you know that within the perhaps you have already studied the introduction to sociology, and in that course we are very frequently employing the terms of norms and values, but very few students are able to make a difference between what norms are and what are the values. So we will talk about and we will make a clear-cut difference using our own cultural examples, that what does it mean to be what does it mean to have the social norms, and how cultural values or social values are different than the norms. And folkways and mores are of course interrelated, because these are the different levels of our norms which we are going to understand within by using or by employing examples from Pakistani society. And then taboos are also very particular term or very particular terminology that may vary from one society to another society. The taboos which are being considered in the non-Pakistani societies, how Pakistani society employs this particular terminology by having the strongest repulsive feelings about certain values. So it is also important to understand within the Pakistani cultural context. And then we will see that how Pakistani culture uses different symbols, and the use of language. Language is also very important. As you know that Pakistan or Pakistani culture possesses different languages. It is a mosaic of different languages, that produces the cultural diversity, which is our next terminology. And we are going to define that terminology within our coming lectures. Then we will see that how different subcultures are being produced within a broader culture, or within a broader society, because there's a difference between the cultures and subcultures that we're going to understand that difference as well. And then the counterculture, that how different cultures are sometimes not compatible to each other, and we're going to understand what does it mean to have that counterculture. And then we will see the process of assimilation and acculturation, how these processes produce or play an important or crucial role in producing some new cultures. And then we will understand the contemporary concept of multiculturalism, which is recently being employed in the literature of culture by international scholars to portray or to reflect how globalization has produced the concept of multiculturalism. And also ethnocentrism, that plays very important role within the national boundaries and within the factions that are important within each of the culture, and what ethnocentrism and how ethnocentrism is being is playing an important role within Pakistani society. And then we will talk about the cultural relativism, cultural shock, and how tangible and intangible cultures make a very clear cut difference within a broader culture.